Welcome back to Factory Sealed. It is May 17th, 2015. My name is Eric Peterson, and joining me today, Miss Jess Clarkson.
Hello.
How are you, Jess?
Almost coughing to death.
Oh.
Not bad.
Well, I'll let you recover and introduce Mr. Dan Curtis.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, God.
4 weeks, guys. 4 weeks.
This is our 7th show in 4.5 weeks.
Wow.
That is almost 2 shows a week.
I don't mean to say it, but, is it pretty coincidental, our show up and all this happens?
I don't think that's it.
Just putting it out there.
No, it's definitely not it.
Oh, okay.
I would say, if anything, it's Jess and I bending over to accommodate your goofy time difference.
I'm going to agree on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry for where I was born.
You've had ample opportunity to move.
I did not. I had a girlfriend. She insisted on staying here.
Girlfriends are portable.
What a jerk. Holding you back.
Yeah, that's...
I could have been living in a hut in the middle of the desert with Eric right now.
I offered you a free bedroom.
You did, but I was convinced you were going to actually just fatten me up and eat me, so decided not to come.
That's what we do.
You just eat English people.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Got that nice texture to us.
It's like a gooey, custardy center.
Oh, God, it would be a custardy center.
It would.
Oh, God, why did I say that?
How much do you think we eat custard?
A lot.
Yeah, I'm having chicken for my tea. I'm just going to pour custard over it.
Jess, I feel like you visualized that a lot more than you really should have.
As I was saying it, I was like, this is a poor choice of words.
Yeah.
Poor choice.
Creamy.
I feel that
custard.
Is really the Jess Clarkson way we're judging over the last few weeks. Let us not forget the alcohol-soaked tampon incident.
It's true. Google it.
Don't want to.
You do realize that a large portion of our demographic is teenagers. And you're just giving them...
We have to explain what a tampon is.
No, but you're giving them alternative methods to...
I feel like if you're that desperate to get drunk,
We had, to give you some perspective, in high school, there was a girl who decided she wanted to drink at school, so she mixed beer and Mountain Dew. And was drinking a Mountain Dew. Like, everyone's like, oh, she's just drinking a Mountain Dew. And then as the day went on, she was getting increasingly goofier. Like, what's...
Beer and Mountain Dew?
Yeah, she had no concept of the difference between beer and liquor, and that beer is not a mixer.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. There was it's...
I feel like we should put a health disclaimer out, you guys. Please don't stick tampons up yourself covered in alcohol. Won't do anything for you, and we really can't be dealing with the legal paperwork, so don't do it.
I would go ahead and venture that...
Carry on.
That our male listeners outnumber our female listeners quite significantly.
Well, if you are a male listener, definitely don't try to stick a tampon up yourself covered in alcohol.
It would work for guys.
Do it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would work.
Up your butthole.
That's how suppositories work.
But no.
Well, Dan, we're not saying do it. We're just saying it would work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As long as we're not endorsing it, that's fine.
No, because your intestines absorb things a whole lot quicker than if it goes through your stomach and dilutes. You get like pure unadulterated medicine right to the butt.
Eric Peterson bowel facts.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
It is.
No hesitation. Straight in there with a detailed synopsis of your arse. Brilliant.
My sister did go through med school, so I learned a lot of fun things. Like the white lines of Hilton are the last defense for holding your poop before you crap your pants. And they're like these little hooks inside your intestines that if you crest the white lines of Hilton, you're shitting yourself.
That's what it's called.
It is. Look it up. White lines of Hilton.
White? Like the color?
Yeah, the white lines of Hilton.
The intersphincteric groove.
How did we get here?
Oh, yeah, that's such a better name.
Hilton's white line is a boundary in the anal canal.
But yeah, like what? Sphincter?
Intersphincteric or something. Intersphincteric?
It makes it sound so spacey.
Yeah.
As in sphincter.
You say it makes it sound spacey?
Yeah.
Like roomy, spacious, or as in like outer space?
Like outer space.
Quick, to the intersphincteric ship.
Really? Like, right? Like, it would totally work.
Miss Frizzle would have had an intersphincteric ship from Magic School Bus.
She would have. That show is pimp.
That show is straight pimp.
I freaking love the Magic School Bus.
How have we gone from the intersphincteric groove to the Magic School Bus?
But Magic School Bus is on Netflix, which is amazing.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I may actually need to watch that.
You have to show Ellie that. Like, that has to happen.
She really
I have no idea what
digs
this is, but I would just
the
not smile.
Futurama theme song.
She's a cool kid already.
She is.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That is cool.
But we're kind of at that point where I need to wean her off of that because I don't think Bender's a very good influence. So.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't you be?
She's got you for a dad, so
Yeah.
it would be pretty bad anyway.
Yeah. Lucky her, huh?
Yeah. Totally.
So how have you guys been? How's your week?
Pretty dull.
Pretty
Same
dull.
old.
Sat at a desk, pretended to work, got paid.
Just tapped a couple of words.
Talked to me at work.
Yeah. Shh.
That's got to be the best part of your day is when I finally roll out of bed and get to work.
Yeah, I live for that so much.
You do.
I just sit and smile for 2 hours when you show up.
Ooh.
Obviously.
I must say, Jess, right? Eric does absolutely nothing at work.
That you
He's
know of.
fantastic.
I didn't even know you had a job.
He doesn't. He thinks he does. He goes and sits in the broom closet at his school with his laptop. That's all he does.
I just collect loose change that falls under the door.
Very occasionally, the janitor comes in and just looks at him, and then Eric just stares at him, and there's a big standoff.
And then I hand him a
The
broom.
janitor just slowly closes the door after taking him up. And then Eric's still there. That's just how it goes every day.
It's not the most satisfying job in the world, but it doesn't pay the bills.
It doesn't pay the bills. That's an important thing, yeah.
It doesn't. We had our annual staff party last night, and they decided to do, instead of just people get together, they decided to do the beer Olympics with a bunch of
That's amazing.
teachers. And it was like, I would say almost 7 hours of competition. And then it ended, nobody knew what the final event was for the two winners, but it ended with them rolling out this giant black garbage bag that was like 70 feet long, covering it in dish soap and water. And they said, we're going to do a drunk slip and slide to Flippy Cup.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then after the
We were
teams
going to
done,
do that tobogganing to Flip Cup. That's like a thing.
well, yeah, tobogganing in Canada is just an everyday
Like
thing.
you have to race down, right?
Yeah.
And then do the Flip Cup?
That's a normal mode of transportation. You just go down the street in toboggans.
Yeah.
Powered, auto-powered,
Shouting a boot and it passes by.
pulled by moose.
Jess, we forgot to ask, did you like your Meet the Crew page?
It was beautiful.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We haven't
Thanks.
talked about that. We need to draw one up for Kevin, though. So if you go to factorysealed.metatank.com/crew, we have written up biographies, but we took a little bit of a twist on it, and I wrote Dan's, Dan wrote mine, and then Dan and I collectively wrote Jess's. And they're about as accurate as you're going to get.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's no bullshit. There's no ego here. It's just relentless mocking. It's
That's all it is. It's just, if you truly want to know how somebody feels about you, have them write a biography for you.
yeah, it was fun.
I mean,
I didn't even have to think about yours, Eric. I just put it together in like 2 minutes.
mine,
like,
surprisingly,
right.
for as long as it took me to get started, it took me about 10 minutes to hammer it out. And it is just filled with nothing but British stereotype. I poured myself a cup of tea, I didn't brush my teeth, and I went at it.
Yep.
Did you at least like take a Sharpie to one of your teeth? One of your teeth?
A yellow Sharpie.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah. But speaking about stuff with the site as well, we've started a new series of articles called Factory Sealed Relives, haven't we, Eric?
Yes, we have. That was kind of Dan's little brainchild, and I think we're going to hopefully run with it. Occasionally, Dan and I have been recording ourselves attempting to play games in a somewhat intelligent manner.
Attempting being the key.
Yeah. And Dan was
No,
inspired
there's no intelligence involved.
to start a new series where we are going to play those games, obviously, but then not necessarily do reviews. It's more or less just kind of a rehashing, and technically,
I see it as a mix between a wiki and a review in one.
but there are no scores.
Kind of. No, there's no scores.
No, we have.
It's
we just kind of break it down, the details of the game, like what it was, maybe some history behind it, some cool facts. Then, if we've done a video, we've got an in-action series where Dan and I are sucking at playing it, and then a section where we actually talk about our impressions of it, come up with the pros and cons list, and then just kind of a final thought on the whole thing.
That's cool.
So,
yeah,
we started
Wasn't
off.
it a good idea?
We started off with E.V.O, Search for Eden, and Dan even drew up some little handy banners that are pretty sweet.
Impressive.
So I'll be posting one probably tomorrow on a game we're going to talk about here in a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm thinking hopefully the idea with this is gradually, because it's brand new literally the other day.
Yeah.
So hopefully over time, as we start to play more and more retro games, we'll build up kind of a database of these things.
Yeah.
Where people can come for stupid information on games. I must say this isn't just your bog standard information about a game. It is 100% factory sealed style with little anecdotes, stupid comments, all that. Yeah, that's all in there. And that's how it's always going to be.
If you're looking for something intelligent, probably look elsewhere.
No, but the writing's good.
Yeah, the writing is good.
The writing is intelligent enough to be witty.
We have taken.
I do say so myself.
We have taken stuffy facts and converted it into a written form of our show.
And there's a video on there as well.
Yeah.
So there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
So go check it out.
Nice.
Sweet stuff. While we're on it, Dan.
That is my shameless plug over with.
While we're on it, we should probably talk about this, because we have yet to actually talk about this game on the show. By the way, it is our 51st show right now.
What?
I completely forgot.
We were going to celebrate our 50th, and that's kind of what we were putting out to people. And then I realized, due to scheduling conflicts, that our Final Fantasy VIII Disc 3 show fell exactly on our 50th, and no amount of rearranging would have made it so that we could have had a normal show on 50. So, again, in proper Factory Sealed style, we're doing a recognition of our 51st show, because we've crested number 50, and now we're onward. We're on the push to the summit of 100. And if we
should actually do something for the 100th.
Well, we've got a year to plan it, almost a year, provided we go every Sunday. But I'm sure there will be some weeks that we miss.
But that's pretty intense.
That is pretty intense. I was thinking about that, Jess. We started this show in the fall of 2012.
Oh my God.
So this is this is our fourth calendar year that this show has existed.
Was that
Holy
still with
smokes.
Manitank when you started this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we offered you to be a part of it, and you're like, I can't be arsed.
I'm a jerk.
I can't remember this. I must say, Eric, I've never heard you say arse before. That was fantastic.
That was my British episode, or my British impersonation of arsed.
Arsed.
Yeah, Jess, we started September 5th, 2012.
Holy moly.
But to be fair, there were some pretty significant gaps throughout.
So the fall is going to be our what? Our
4-year anniversary. No, I'm sorry, three.
That's-
3. But
we'll do something fun there.
we have existed within 4 different calendar years.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
But now that we have
pretty
Dan
mad.
on, and he is this almighty driving force behind keeping us consistent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Sure.
I don't foresee us missing many episodes.
No.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I was nearly late today, but no.
Yeah, you're right.
I was late today.
It's
Yeah,
been
right.
it's been an interesting run so far, with just kind of where we started and all the changes that we've had in the show. I was thinking about some of the stuff that we used to have at the beginning, where people would write in and tell us what to play. Or they would write in and share their opinions. We did an episode where we tried having listener call-ins. What else did we have, Jess?
We did the sound bites recently.
I really liked that. I think we should continue to do that for holiday episodes.
Yeah.
We had a couple one really cool special guest.
I'm over it.
No. I'm not talking about Toronto Batman.
Oh. I listened to Toronto Batman.
Did you
I
finish
listened
it?
to it. No.
No.
Got about
Just
10 minutes in and I was like, screw this.
Yeah. By the end, it was 10 times worse than what it was at the beginning. But we had Elias Tefexis on.
Yeah.
We had Rob Duenas, comic book artist extraordinaire. I think we should work on getting another super special guest.
Oh, yes. We'll talk about
Yeah,
that after.
I asked Super Mario of Durham. He's not interested.
Did you
Did you
see?
talk to him?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't.
dude, you got my hopes up there for a minute.
I'm so excited.
Sorry.
Have you seen him
I haven't,
lately?
I haven't actually seen it. I haven't seen him since, no.
You absolutely have
He's-
to.
He's been elusive.
Oh, man.
So if you guys think of
I was in Durham earlier and I was looking for him, but he wasn't there.
if anybody can think of a special guest that they might like to see us attempt to get on, let us know. We'll do our best.
Yeah, but okay, then that'll happen.
And we are doing a special show with Oliver, right?
Yes, that is coming up on June the 7th. We have that scheduled. So Oliver
Is that still
from
the Sun?
Talkin' Reckless / Manitank, whatever you still want to refer to it as, he's going to come on and we're going to do a Metal Gear Solid episode. So Mr. I know everything there is to know about Metal Gear will be on here talking with us.
Yeah. I listened back to the Manitank one where you had David Hayter on. Actually, that was a good one.
That was a great show.
Yeah.
I'd really like to try to get him on our show too, but we'll see. I've still got his.
He was a really nice guy as well.
I've still got
That
his
was my
contact
doing?
info.
Just throwing that out there.
The David Hayter.
2 for 3. Yeah.
Matt made it sound like, yeah, I contacted some people and then they contacted me back and like we worked something out.
Wait, no, it wasn't. Just kidding.
Yeah. How do you mess that up?
I don't know.
Wow.
I just love the bit at the start where it has the theme tune on and like he goes, "You're listening to the Manitank podcast." So it's so cool.
So listen the hell up.
Yeah, what a
Oh
guy.
no, so pay some damn attention. Yeah, that was a fun episode. That was a really good one.
Now it's just us three
It is
talking shit.
We've had a pretty significant
Womp womp.
crew change too. I mean, we've not gone through, but we were going to start out with Jess and me and Aaron and Ben never showed up to a single episode. So we lost Ben before we even got him. And then it was it was us three for a while. Then we brought in a couple random guests from time to time that never really stuck. Then we brought in Nick. That was a good run, but he's off doing his Genesis Gems podcast. So
Yeah.
it's been good.
And then, are you forgetting someone?
Well, we had Toronto Batman. And then we had...
That was a great episode, by the way.
We had Rob, and we had Elias. I think that's it.
We had Matt.
Oh, yep, we had Matt.
I don't remember Matt's last name.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and that's been it.
Okay.
I know what you're getting at.
I see how it is. I see how it is.
Of course, then we brought in Mr. Daniel Curtis.
Well, obviously, you're talking right now.
Well, he needs that stroke on his ego.
People are stupid.
Jeez Louise, I hope that's the only place you're stroking him.
What?
What?
Just lowering the tone.
Oh,
Brand it down.
This is why we're not a family-friendly show. So, Dan, we should probably talk about our first Factory Sealed Relives game.
Which is E.V.O.
And since you...
The Search for Eden.
You have played that the most, I'm going to let you take this one.
Oh, no. Oh, why would you do that?
We actually...
Last time I did a synopsis, you just basically went, that was shit.
Well, because you said like 3 things about it. Wait, so we had a listener recommend this.
Yes, we did.
I apologize if...
E.V.O. was... E.V.O. was a game where we both... Basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to go in blind. So if we've never played the game before, we're not looking it up. We're not finding anything out about it before we play it. So we just go into it. We don't know what genre it is. We don't know what's going to happen, what the controls are, whether it's 2-player or not. We play it, see what happens.
I'm going to interrupt you for just a second. It was Matt from Southwest Florida League Gamers who recommended E.V.O. for us.
Well done, Matt. It was a good game. We liked it. And but E.V.O. basically is it's made by Enix, or it's published by Enix, who are part of now with Square Enix, who obviously is Final Fantasy, stuff like that. And it's a very, very unique RPG for the SNES, where you start out as like a fish in the land before time. Wasn't that a film?
Yes, you start out in the time. You start out in the time before land is what this game is, not land before time, because you're not on land.
Close enough. And that would make more sense, actually.
Yeah.
Well done.
There's no Littlefoot? That's sad.
And you start off as this fish, and then basically you have to attack other monsters or other enemies, or whatever you can find in the sea, and then you get evolution points. And then you can spend these evolution points to get new body parts, like a glowing light on the top of your head and fiercer jaws, so you can do more attacks and stuff like that. And I must stress, Eric, it's very important that for some reason all enemies on E.V.O. turn into cooked hams, which is highly unusual.
The hams again.
That's kind of been the gaming standard for health. There's the health potion, or there's the leg of ham.
It was a turkey in Streets of Rage.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it was turkey last week we talked about.
It was a turkey. But yeah, but bear in mind that this starts under the sea, where when you're killing jellyfish and fish, they turn into cooked hams. And I don't know why.
They're fully cooked too.
Yes. But E.V.O. it's very, very unique and very clever. But I found, Eric, I don't know about you, but when you get to about the halfway point, you hit this wall where you just have to grind and grind and grind to get any further.
I do. I hit that point just before the queen bee, but I didn't feel like it was too tedious because the enemies that I was killing were giving me 60 Evo points a pop, and they were just taking one kill or one hit. But they were like these little cockroaches that would come out in pairs. So if you'd kill them, eat the ham, walk to the left, there'd be a pair that comes from the left. You'd eat them, then you'd go back to the right, there'd be a pair that comes from the right. So I was getting 120 every 10 seconds. So it leveled up real quick.
See, that's not very much, because at that section you have to save up about 5,000 points. So you're still talking about 15 minutes worth of grinding there to get what you need.
Yeah, I look at it and like, oh my god, I gotta kill at least 100.
I don't know, if you hate an RPG where you have to grind, this isn't the game for you at all.
Yeah, this takes the concept of RPG grinding and just elevates it to the max.
Yeah,
and it's interesting because
the bosses are extremely difficult as well.
I don't think I've ever played a side-scrolling RPG. I mean, this is true RPG minus the typical RPG battles, and it's I don't know if I've played a side-scrolling RPG. I assume I have at some point. At least not one as memorable as this.
That one that came out recently for PS4. What was it called?
Rogue Legacy.
No, Dust and Elysian Tale. That was a side-scrolling RPG. That was a good game. Yeah. I like that.
E.V.O.
For E.V.O, basically, I would say it's one of those games that you should really try, because I'd never heard of it, and I played through most of it. But I kind of hit a boss that's impossible, so I can't do it anymore.
It's a really unique concept, and I think that's the one thing that you and I initially talked about, was just that I've never played a game with this concept where, I mean, they are starting from the primordial ooze, and they are moving, I'm presuming, up to the human era where you're beating things with clubs and axes. And it's just kind of cool to watch that transformation from one creature to the next and how the environments change. But there are a couple downfalls, at least that I noticed, where they don't tell you at all what any of the evolution things are going to do. I mean, under Jaws, you've got 5 different choices. Tail, you've got 5 different choices. Back of the head, you've got 5 different choices. And obviously with the Jaws, okay, I'm just going to choose the best one because I'm assuming that's going to give me the most attack power. But what does increasing my body size do versus this second body that's smaller but has scales or is slick? And it's very vague about that. And
not the vague again.
It's very
not going there.
What's
vague?
Vague. Did I say it right?
No.
Vague.
Not at all.
Vague.
That's better.
You just sound like you're saying fag.
Vague.
Vague. That'll do. We'll take.
But it's very not forthcoming about what they do, and if you waste your E.V.O points on something and discover that, oh, I don't like this, you still have to spend E.V.O points to get something else. And then if you decide later you want that item back, you have to save up E.V.O points to get it back. So it's like once you buy something, you don't own it. You have to keep bouncing back and forth between, and that's where the grinding kind of comes in, is that if you discover you put your points into the wrong thing.
It's kind of like building your own creature, but you don't actually know what the hell you're building.
Yeah.
That's bad.
And it's actually kind of cool because as Dan and I were comparing when we played, it's like your creature looks a hell of a lot different than mine did at this point. And it's kind of that unique aspect of the game where when you play through a typical RPG, everybody's kind of got their favorite party and their favorite weapons and their favorite armor. It's pretty much that same concept, but in a side-scrolling platform-style RPG.
I have to mention that the storyline makes no sense, by the way.
You actually
the basic concept is a crazy woman called who has something to do with a god called Gaia is sending you through different time periods to evolve and try to get to Eden for reasons unknown. But like because it's a Japanese game, the translation is atrocious. It's just so funny.
The first cave that we wandered into, we were met with a piece of dialogue that says, "Rumors are beginning to circulate among the sea cucumbers." And that's all it was. No context, just rumor spreading, gossiping sea cucumbers.
We just laughed for about 5 minutes because it was just so funny. And it was just pretty good.
Jess, have you ever actually heard of this game?
Nope.
I'd never heard of it either, and then Derek, my sister's fiance, who's been doing the Final Fantasy shows with us, I told him we were playing through it, and he's like, yeah, I recommended you play that when he first moved down here. And he loved that game as a kid. He's like, that game was just awesome. But I suppose at the time, it would have been great because we didn't know anything that was better, and we didn't have any concept of its shortcomings. I just don't understand how anybody could beat this game normally without save states.
No, the bosses are impossible.
So when you told me initially the B, I didn't pay attention to if you said queen or king. You said the B boss, and I didn't assume they would have two bosses of the exact same kind. So I got through the king B in one go and trudged forth and got to the queen bee, and I've probably fought her 30, 40 times, not even coming close to beating her.
No, she's absolutely ridiculously hard. We were just trying to do it before the show, actually, and even with my help, we couldn't get past it.
Which is disappointing.
The only way I did it is because I basically waited until she charge attacked me, jumped, attacked her, hit her a few times, jumped, pressed pause, save stated.
Are you serious?
Repeated. Seriously.
So you would save state if you hit her and you didn't lose any health?
Yep. Run away a bit, save it, and then do the same again.
That's actually pretty ingenious. I'd never thought about that.
With lots of different loading to actually, so you could get the exact moment she attacks you right, and then you can judge it.
Wow.
And it's but obviously when this came first out, you couldn't have done this.
No.
Yeah.
So, but if she kills you or boots you out of the level, then you have to start again. So
it is a very frustrating boss, and that's the one thing that I would say is probably going to turn a lot of people off to this is the pacing is very off. There are some levels where you just walk through, no enemies to kill. And then the enemies that are there, you can kill in one hit. And then you get to levels where it just spikes to they kill you in one hit. There's no gradual flow.
Yep. What was I going to say? I forgot.
It's depressing that it's like that because I actually do want to see how this game ends.
Yeah, it's pretty damn interesting, I must say. But I would say it's a game to try. You might not like it.
You kind of have to get through that.
I liked it originally, but to be honest, because of all the annoyances,
you have to get through that initial.
Recommend it 100%.
You have to get through that initial. Okay, what the hell is this? I mean, it's pretty stupid right at the beginning because you don't really understand what's going on. But once you get probably third or fourth level and you start leveling up, it's pretty cool. And it's definitely worth playing. But I'm going to treat the Queen Bee as where I'm ending. I may come back at some point and try to beat her. But, yeah. If you want something to
see, I got a lot further than that. So, I got up to a boss, which is a Yeti, who is just impossible.
What type of creature are you now? A dinosaur?
I'm a mammal, I think.
Oh, wow.
I'm a crazy mammal. I'm a mammal which has horse legs.
So you're a
but has really fierce teeth.
centaur.
And it has the mane of a lion.
What?
Yeah. Because for some reason the mane of the lion makes you do 25 attack every time.
Well, naturally.
So, but apparently I've missed an entire section where you can go to a sky world and get wings. But I looked this up right, and to get to the sky world, you have to go up the top of this section where there's a mountain, and you have to jump off the left-hand side, and then for some reason you sprout wings. How are you meant to know that?
Just random playing, I guess.
It's just like, I jumped off the right side of the cliff, so I never got these wings.
Well, maybe you should go back.
Now I'm disappointed. You can't go back once you're onto the next section.
Oh, really?
No.
Huh.
Because every time you go through a new section, you turn into a new creature who's like really weak again.
Huh.
Apart from the final section, you basically carry over whatever creature you were for the final section. So you could still be a dinosaur, I think.
So you have not evolved to a human
Oh
yet.
my god, the bit... No. but I have seen monkeys. And there's a section where you have to basically you kill a yeti who attacks you. That's a boss. And then another yeti comes out who's obviously a female because she's got giant bosoms and is pink. So, and and then you kill her, and then all of a sudden a small yeti comes out and he goes, "Mama, Dada." And then just like runs around, just like he's dead. He's like the dead and shit. And then you just travel through a time gate and just leave him to his own devices.
What I've found with those is that the characters who come out and deliver plot points then leave. You can chase after them and kill them.
Yeah.
So there was a dragonfly that came out and told me something about how thankful he was that I liberated them from the flying insects after I beat the king bee, and he started flying away. I'm like, I'm going to get this guy, so I chased after him and killed him. Got no evolution points, no ham, just killed him.
Yeah, I would say if you want to know more about E.V.O, go to the site and check out Factory Sealed Relives, and we've got a video and all the details about it on there.
The soundtrack isn't too terrible either. It's not...
It gets a bit repetitive.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh. It's too bad.
It's not terrible. It's a decent, unique RPG. It's by no means perfect.
No.
But if you're looking for a good retro RPG to try that you probably have never played before, I would honestly give it a try.
I was surprised with how many people were commenting on our Facebook page that they had actually played this game and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So,
but I think we had that transition as well when we were playing it on the video where we were like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
Then I don't know about halfway through the penny dropped and we are just like, "This is actually pretty good."
It is. It's surprisingly good.
And then, yeah,
Jess,
I was surprised about it, but yeah.
Yes.
Have you played anything?
So I'm going to tell you a bit of a story
Uh-oh.
that you're going to appreciate.
Okay.
My hard drive crashed
Oh, no.
on my Mac.
Yes!
Yep. So
Macs are
that
so
took
much
up a lot of my
better
time.
because they always work.
They don't. But when they stop working, there's not really a whole heck of a lot that you can do.
Yeah, that's what we've discovered too, is with Apple devices, when they go down, well, time to buy a new one. Whereas with a PC, it's like, all right, I'll just swap this part out. Because we have a bunch of MacBooks at work, and when they go down, if we try to repair them ourselves, Apple voids our warranty.
It's weird because I was able to, you can put in more memory without voiding the warranty, but I think for some repairs it will. Mm-hmm. It's weird.
So how did this happen? What were you downloading?
I thought we were trying to be a family-friendly show.
Never.
No, we're trying not to be a great length.
I had just installed, there's a new software update for Yosemite, I think is what I'm using.
The new
now.
OS.
Yeah, and I don't know, it had to restart, and then it restarted, and then it wasn't loading up.
Ooh.
The Apple would come up, and the loading bar, the progress bar would get to a quarter, and then it would just shut down. Awesome.
If you do Command Option R, you can do a recovery from the internet, and then it'll actually bring up your disk utility.
I had a bunch of I opened in disk utility and then went to install from a Time Machine backup that I had.
Yeah.
But I lost.
You have a time machine.
Yeah, I do.
So you lost everything.
Yeah, and I still hadn't finished Majora's Mask, and I lost all of my saves for that, and I was so sad.
So I have taken, and this might be something that other people might want to do, is since I travel around and I bring my laptop with me, I've decided to put all of my emulators in a Dropbox. And then it saves the save states to Dropbox, it saves the ROMs to Dropbox. So regardless of whatever computer I'm on, as long as it has my Dropbox account, I can play my games.
And then
That's
he can
good.
sit and play on them at work in his broom cupboard.
I wish I had that kind of time.
But I finally found
He does.
an ISO of the Ultimate Haunted House.
The Ultimate Haunted
Which
House.
I was so pumped about.
What is that?
You don't remember this? We talked about it a couple of weeks back.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget the guy's
Shows
name.
how much attention you pay.
None. Is this a
Exactly.
This is a Windows game, right?
Yeah.
This looks like it was drawn by first graders.
Wilson, but it's
It was.
so good. And I'm so sad that I haven't gotten it working yet, but I just found the file like last night.
Is it a point and click style adventure?
Yeah.
Oh.
So the purpose, you have to escape the house in 13 hours and you have to find 13 keys in order to escape. And it's cool because there are a bunch of different rooms that you can go in. And you have to do different things in different rooms. So you can build a monster, which is cool, in the like monster lab, and it'll come to life and you have to build it a specific way in order to get that key. There's a kitchen that you can poison some of the monsters and oddly poison a little child,
Ooh.
which is kind of a little creepy. But you get a key there. In the toilet, in the washroom, you flush stuff down the toilet to get a key. And there is a torture chamber that you lure monsters into the Iron Maiden. And if she likes the monster, she gets a little freaky with it and makes all sorts of kissy noises and stuff. It's really interesting.
Oh, that's screwed up.
This kind of sounds like Myst, where you don't really have any clarification on what to do or how to do it. You just kind of go through and do it.
Yeah, that's basically it. Like, it's a lot of experimenting about how to like feed certain things. You have to feed a fish as well, or a bird. I can't remember, but there are tons of different things to do, and it's all basically like trial and error.
That actually sounds
Which
pretty
is fun.
cool. You sound like you've played this game a lot.
I played it a lot when I was a kid. It was so fun.
When did
I don't
this
know.
come out? Like early 90s?
Apparently 93.
Jeez.
1993. So yeah, the Iron Maiden was a little creepy when I was like, how old? 7.
You
Yeah.
just revealed your
Didn't
age.
quite-
Imagine that's the
understand.
kind of thing that would screw people up for life.
Yeah.
Is that what happened to you?
A little bit. I think maybe all of my issues in life can go back to the freaky Iron Maiden.
Oh, dear. We'll have to ask.
Yeah, so I want to get it working and then go from there.
Well, you'll have to let us know. I'd be interested in playing that as well. I wonder
Mm-hmm.
if
Me too.
GOG has it.
I looked and they don't.
The Haunted House. No, right?
The Ultimate
Most
Haunted House.
Ultimate.
Oh.
So now that we mentioned GOG, I actually applied to be part of the GOG.com, the GOG Galaxy beta, where they are releasing a client that's very similar to Steam. And so far, it is awesome. And what's really cool about it is that it pulls down your entire library and kind of manages it just like Steam, but it's cross-compatible with Steam. So if you have a game, a multiplayer game that you bought on GOG.com and one of your friends has it on Steam, it will cross-connect and you can play with each other still. So it's actually pretty cool so far, and it's very similar to Steam, where you can browse the store from it and you don't have to go to the website. There's a few bugs here and there, but it's still in the beta mode. So, all you do is you just register for the beta, and in about 2 or 3 days they'll send you a code, and you just download the client.
That's cool.
Friends lists, all that good stuff. It's pretty cool. I like it so far. It's kind of given me some more initiative to go back and play some of the stuff that I bought on there when it was super cheap. Dan and I have another game. The next piece of Factory Sealed Relives that I'm going to be typing up hopefully tomorrow, we played based on a suggestion from our good friend from Finland, Mr. Vikmies. I don't know how to pronounce his real name, but we call him Vikmies.
Vikmies?
Yeah, Vikmies, the unpronounceable.
Is this Valtteri?
Yeah.
Valtteri.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to work with me briefly on my website. I did.
I was working,
really?
or I was talking to him on Steam yesterday, just asking for some really random games that Dan and I could play. He suggested we play a game called Wild Guns for the Super Nintendo, and that game is rock hard. It's like an old arcade-style shooter, but without the light guns. And you can actually move your character around on the screen. So it's kind of a cross between a side-scrolling platform and an arcade-style shooter. There's only 2 characters to choose from.
Yeah, but you can't move your character when you're shooting.
Yeah.
You have to either shoot or move.
Yep.
So
it's
really strange.
It is. There's 2 characters to choose from, Clint and Annie, and they each are pretty indistinguishable with the exception of their special attack. But to give you an idea of how difficult this game is, we survived maybe 35 seconds our first try. Maybe. We lost all of our lives almost immediately. Just because we had no idea what we were doing. You can jump, you can move side to side, but as like Dan said, as soon as you start to fire, you can't move. And your reticle is controlled by the D-pad. So you're actually controlling a crosshairs on the back of the screen. So people jump out from behind barrels or from the side of the screen or in windows, and you have to shoot them before, obviously, they shoot you. And their attacks are slow enough to dodge, but when there's 20 people on the screen, things get a little chaotic. And then there's Stabby McGee, who comes out of nowhere, and he's actually at the front of the screen, and he melees you, and he's an instant hit kill. But the only way to kill him that we found was using your special attack, like drop dynamite for Clint, or Annie fires this nuclear javelin missile into the sky and kills everyone on the screen. And that's the only way we...
But is it like...
Is it what?
Fun, or is it like frustrating? Like because games can be hard, but like fun at least. It's entertaining.
I had a lot of fun with it because there is that element of like, man, this is difficult. And we probably we have a video up of us playing it, and we probably played through the first segment, and we got incrementally farther each time. But once you start to learn the attack patterns, and we devised a plan of like, Dan, you cover the right half of the screen, I cover the left half. Things start...
Yeah, and we totally didn't change the difficulty to easy.
Well, we did after we couldn't beat the first main level boss. So it's broken down into 3 segments. You've got your first introductory room. Then there's a boss for that. Then we moved into the bar, which had way more bartenders than they needed. And there was a boss in there who would just scuttle around on the floor like a little crab, and then occasionally stand up and try to shoot you. So he was really easy. But then you move on to the rooftop.
He was so weird.
You move on to the rooftop, and there's this giant mecha that appears. And he's just super impossible when you're playing it on normal. And probably after 15 tries, we decided, let's just put this on easy. It was embarrassing that we had to do that. But it gave us a taste of what the rest of the game was like. So you play that first level, and then the game begins, where you can choose the 4 different levels. You've got like an armored train. You've got, I don't even remember what the other ones were, but we chose the armored train, and just a lot of different enemy variety in there. Like you had people with jetpacks, and like people in dune buggies in the background, and some UFC fighters.
Cool, isn't it? It's kind of like. It's kind of like steampunk Wild West, like kind of like Wild Wild West.
Yeah, like Will Smith's movie
kind of style.
That's amazing. I love that movie.
It was
Wicca Wild
it was
West
really cool
tune.
Once we actually figured it out. When we were first figuring out, like, why are we throwing lassos? I don't understand. I'm in a gunfight and I'm trying to lasso people. But then we discovered if you're tapping the attack button, you throw your lasso. No idea what purpose it served.
No.
But there is a little bit of
I found out what the green bars are for.
What?
I found out what they're for. It fills up over time,
Okay.
and when it fills up, you get a special gun for a while.
Oh.
But it looks like a health bar.
There are
but it
special
isn't.
weapons that appear that you can shoot, and they give you like a grenade launcher or a machine gun, or they give you a clown car gun that just shoots little squeaky noises and doesn't hurt anybody. So there are the anti-weapons. Those are pretty cool. But there is a little bit of a competitive element to it as well, where each person, as they're killing, you're working together, but you're also accumulating points, so you can have a little bit of friendly competition within that. It's just super fast paced. I mean, from the moment you drop in, you are running and gunning.
That's cool, though.
But if you get hit once, you're dead. So it's pretty hard. You have about 3 lives, and then you get kicked to the continue screen.
Yeah, and
So
there is a way
it's
to
just
get extra
very
lives.
difficult.
I don't know how, though.
Is there?
Yeah. Because there was one time where I was up to 5 guys.
We totally sucked at playing this.
It was very, very, very difficult.
I think it's one of those games you'd have to play a lot to get good at and learn all the intricacies of it.
It's
Like, are
because
there a lot of patterns that you can kind of memorize,
yes.
or no?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, but we kind of went in blind as we always do, so it just drops you in straight away and you're shooting at things.
I mean, the major bosses
And then,
have...
like, it took me about 5 minutes to figure out how you actually shoot.
Well, because you're using a keyboard.
Yeah.
I gave him the
I've plugged in my
opportunity.
DualShock now.
I gave him the opportunity to map his controller. He's like, I can't be arsed.
There's the arst again.
I'm trying. What was I going to say? Oh, like some of the major enemies have significant tells when they're going to do their attack. So like the big mecha robot, you have to shoot him in his head. But as soon as he drops his one hand down onto his gun, okay, he's going to start shooting. Or if he shrugs his shoulders down, then he's going to fire his missiles. And then that's when you just don't attack him. So it's if you're good at paying attention to enemy tells, you'll be good at that. But a lot of there's no health bar. So you don't know how many hits you have till you die. And a lot of hits are just instant kills. And you're given 3 guys, and there are no continues. It's just straight up, here you go, you're screwed.
That's fun.
As far as we know. There is also a multiplayer element.
It gets very difficult quickly.
There's a multiplayer element that's like a carnival-style shooter, where it's just you and the other players shooting at cardboard cutout type things, and then it moves on to another level with like flying dudes on coal carts, and then Birdman, and it's okay. The meat of the game is in those main levels, but it's actually a ton of fun. It was a really good suggestion. If you liked games like Sunset Riders, this is like Sunset Riders, but you're not side-scrolling. You're still shooting people in the background, and it's got that Wild West feel to it. But it kind of reminds me of Contra. It's the same difficulty level of Contra.
Yeah, that is rock hard. Yeah. Contra.
Yeah. So that's
very, very difficult game.
That is that's Wild Guns. We'll be throwing up our
but look for Factory Sealed Relives on that as well.
Yeah.
If Eric gets his act together,
I'll do it. I'll do it. I promise.
Good.
Did we play anything else this week, guys?
No.
I wanted to take
I've been playing GTA 5 again.
I wanted to take a quick moment and go back to a game I talked about last week, Excite Bike 64. Thinking about it, I may have been a little harsh in my review, so after the show I went and played about another 2 hours of it. And I still kind of stand by my initial reaction of the game. I did discover, though, that you can make yourself turn sharper by hitting the R button as you're going around a corner, but it's still really floaty controls. So I was talking to Derek, who recommended it on Twitter, and he said that the championship is the worst part of the game. So Excite Bike 3D in the special tracks menu is where all the fun is, but you have to go through the championships to unlock all that stuff. And I just couldn't be bothered with that. So maybe I will eventually go back. I can't be arsed with it.
Yes, English phrases are coming in.
I'm going to start saying toodle pip at work. Like right now, when I...
Yeah, Jess, today I've been out with my girlfriend. We went to a place called Richmond here in England. We found like a really cool shop which had a lot of crazy things in. And I found a sign that just says Toodle Pip.
That's awesome.
So it's now on the, like, when you're going out of my flat, it's on the door.
That's amazing.
So it says Toodle Pip. It's so good.
And you see, the thing is that at work, when I leave, I'll say toodaloo to people. It's just something that I've always said. So I'm seeing if they would notice if I transitioned it to say Toodle Pip.
Give it a go.
We'll see. We actually have a couple emails.
Holy.
If you guys want to write us an email,
We're getting popular.
factorysealed@manatank.com, or you can drop us questions on our Facebook page, shoot us questions on Twitter. Wherever you find us, just send us a question, comment, suggestion. We had one here from Scale Enley. Remember him, Jess?
Yeah.
The guy from Australia with the sweet name?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. He's the guy that said if we played through Terranigma and
Oh, now. Yeah. It's all coming
got
back.
100% completion on Terranigma, he would send each of us a case of Australian beer. And that is something that I want to take him up on. So that will be happening. He addresses our Factory Sealed our Final Fantasy episode. He says, "Hello again, Factory Sealed crew. I'm loving the Final Fantasy VIII episodes. The nostalgia, the idea of a zero battle playthrough, and even the idea of Squall actually being dead at the end of Disc 1 have all convinced me to play through the game again. But with Pillars of Eternity, Path of Exile, and Dota 2, it's hard keeping it all together with limited time. I have no idea how you guys with kids manage it. Shit's crazy." In a previous episode of the podcast, you're talking about golf games. I was wondering if you played golf on the NES. It was pretty terrible even for being a golf game, but I sunk many hours into it. PGA Tour Golf Team Challenge Arcade Machine with trackball, that one was great. And I hate golf. God damn it, I hate golf, and that was a good game. Anyway, keep up the good work. Echo the Dolphin sucks arse, and I don't know why they kept making those games. But I'm glad you guys are there to remind me why I'll never go back to those games, ever. Cheers. P.S. Scale.
That's amazing.
He posts a couple.
That's quite a long email.
He posts a couple comics from a guy on DeviantArt about Final Fantasy VIII. He says Squall is totally not dead at the end of Disc 1. Not a chance. He just rubbed some dirt on it and got back into the game. He's hardcore. A bit salty, sure, but he's hardcore. And you fools need to understand the stress he's under. I've included some pictures to further illustrate said stress. They were done by Stejepan Sajic, who posts under the alias Nabeziel on DeviantArt. They're actually pretty funny. Check them out. It kind of addresses that whole concept of how stupid some of the Final Fantasy battles are, where like Quistis casts bad breath and it's her just belching out this green billowing smoke of disgustingness, and then later Squall is just sitting there like, I've seen some shit, and people wonder why I'm so introverted. Check them out. They're actually pretty cool comics.
I'm sorry, but in Final Fantasy, though, you would just, like, everybody would live in fear. I mean, the minute you go outside of your town, you get basically eaten by monsters.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite ones is he's got Quistis, Rinoa, and Squall standing there, and it's got the title above called the Angelo Cannon, where Rinoa shoots her dog out at an enemy.
Oh, God, that's so stupid.
And they're all covered in blood. And it's just Quistis going, this was a horrible idea. And Squall looks like he's about to throw up. It's pretty funny. Check them out. If you're a fan of Final Fantasies and you kind of want to draw attention to how ridiculous some of this stuff is, it's pretty cool. We have one more email from Duncan Pacell.
So what was Scale's question anyway?
He didn't have a question. He just had a comment.
Okay.
Which is fine. We like comments. Duncan writes in, Dear the Good Ship Factory Sealed. Hey, dudes and dudettes. I hope your guys' weeks have been great.
Pip, pip.
Pip, pip. Happy 51st show, guys. I'm super proud to have been here since day one and will continue to be happy to listen forevermore. Anyway, my question today is, what do you think is the most overrated retro game of all time? Like the one where people think it's great just because it's retro. Keep on not disappearing for a year, Duncan.
Overrated retro game.
I know, I'm trying to think of games that are like super popular.
DuckTales and Goof Troop. Those are my choices.
Now, see, I don't like Mario Kart.
Mario Kart 64 is terrible.
Shut up. I love that one.
We had a discussion about this, and Diddy Kong Racing will kick the pants off Mario Kart 64 any day of the week.
Oh.
And then Crash Team Racing will come along and kick the arse of both of them.
Exactly.
That was the best kart game ever.
I am with Dan on that.
Crash Team Racing was amazing.
It was so good. And it's not just because you have a huge boner for Crash. It's a good game. It's difficult, too. I think Mario Kart is more accessible, but when you really break it down, there's not a whole lot to it, and it's just kind of a boring game.
Okay, we should play all three, and then
compare.
We can't even do like a blind review or anything.
No.
I'll try not to be.
See, I used to have Crash Team Racing, but I don't know where my copy's gone.
Jess, have you played Diddy Kong Racing?
No.
Because there's a full adventure mode. It's a long, long game. I mean, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of tracks, whereas Mario Kart 64 has, 12? Maybe? 16 at the most?
And then everybody's quality, not quantity.
Everybody's defense is, but then you can get the mirrored tracks, so it's really like there's 32. Like, no, that's not how it works.
No, that's just...
I do not like mirrored tracks.
Yeah. But Diddy Kong, you've got airplane tracks, you've got water levels, you've got the go-kart tracks, and you've got the levels that just encompass it's just awesome. Love Diddy Kong.
Have you heard of Steam Whistle Beer?
No.
They do Pilsner, and they only make one type of Pilsner, they only have one type of beer, and they do it really well.
Good for them.
Mario Kart sticks to one type of racing and does it really well.
No.
They don't need the frills.
But Crash Team Racing did loads of different types of racing.
Crash
really
Team
well.
is awesome. Dan, is that your choice for overrated game is Mario Kart?
Yeah.
Jess, what's yours?
I haven't thought yet.
Okay. Keep thinking.
I think, most of the sports games, just in general.
Madden.
I think sport games are overrated.
FIFA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for the one NHL hockey on NES.
And Mutant League football.
But see, I like the old football games because you can just basically run into the goal and there's no strategy.
Oh,
you
really?
You can win about 36-0 just by running into the goal.
I play a sports game.
Maybe my friend used to have one years ago.
I probably play sports games once every 4 or 5 years, and then I'm like, all right, I'm good. So that's it for questions. You want to write us a question at factorysealedmanatink.com. Let's see. Oh, we will be, and this is planned, we will be taking a 2-week break because I will be out of town until the 31st of May. So,
where are you going?
I'm going back home to Wisconsin.
Having some cheese?
Cheese, beer, brats, mosquitoes.
Didn't you say you're debating going back to Wisconsin?
Possibly. A lot of it depends on this job.
Because you want to be closer to Canada.
So, kind of the time frame moving forward here is this Tuesday. Kevin, Derek, and I are wrapping up our Final Fantasy VIII show. We're also looking for suggestions on our next big RPG to tackle. We've had some people request a Dragon Quest game. We're thinking maybe Dragon Quest VIII.
Chrono Trigger, man.
Well, we kind of wanted to play something that none of us have played. So we were thinking maybe Legend of Dragoon, Dragon Quest VIII, maybe Legend of Legaia.
Phantasy Star, maybe.
We could do Phantasy Star. So if you have a suggestion for like a good, solid retro RPG that we could break up into 2, 3, maybe 4 episodes, that's kind of a series that we want to keep doing. Is some people like those episodic shows where we cover something a little bit longer, because I don't feel like we could do enough justice to Final Fantasy VIII in 1 hour and a half show. So we want to take those longer games and break them up.
Maybe I'll actually play it this time.
Maybe. Jess, you and I could always do Suikoden 2 as well.
Yes.
So there's a lot on the table. So that's going to happen Tuesday. And then we will possibly... I'm going to bring my stuff with and just kind of see how things go. And if we can find a time where all of us can get together and do a show maybe during the week, we might. Because I won't be working, so my schedule's a little bit more free to match up with what Dan has. So maybe, Jess, if you have some time during the day, one day we can do a quick show. But anyway, don't plan on...
Yeah, that's possible.
Don't plan on us being officially back till the 7th of June. That's when we're going to have Oliver on, and we're going to be doing the Metal Gear Solid for PlayStation 1 podcast. So that gives you guys some time to play that. Even though, Dan, you could play it backwards in your sleep, we're still going to...
seriously, man, I used to finish that game as a kid, play it again.
It's really not long. You can probably get it done in like 6 hours.
Yeah, I used to know every single thing about it. Like, I had the stealth suit, and I'll tell you what, I could never... I'll save it for the next show, but the torture sequence could never do it. That's just...
So that's coming up in 2-3-ish weeks. So... Dan and I will probably still be playing games during that time, putting up videos, writing articles, just keeping stuff going. But just know that if you don't see a show for the next couple weeks, it's not because we have disappeared. It is because we are on, as Dan would say, holiday.
I like it.
Holiday.
Jess, where can we find you on Twitter?
Summer break. At I am a Jess.
Dan.
Frosted Sloth.
You can find me at Honest...
I'm trying to think of more exotic ways to say it every week.
You can find me at Honest Pizza. That's
going to go really high pitched next time.
Going to do it for this week. Toodle pip.